After only 2 episodes of the Last Dance documentary about Michael Jordan and the Bulls' last title run, some of the biggest proponents of LeBron being the GOAT already changed their tune. The effect of those 2 episodes that changed some of the biggest LeBron fans to say that MJ is the GOAT, even though they said otherwise before, is undeniable. One of the people with a huge influence on sports in a very popular show is Colin Cowherd. I'm going to show you what Colin had said before and what he's saying right now.
Then LeBron comes in, and after 4 or 5 years, and you don't want to admit this, but he could do a bunch of stuff Michael couldn't. He's a bigger, stronger Michael. And for the record, I watched both. I'm not 22 years old. There are a lot of things LeBron does much better than Michael. I've always said this: if Michael played today with Twitter, you watched Michael and then responded directly to Michael, you took shots at Michael, you wouldn't like Michael as much. And he would be a lot like Westbrook. Michael's great, don't get me wrong. But when you put the magnifying glass on LeBron, he just does a lot more at a much higher level than Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player ever. Is that, and this is a message because people my age know what I'm about to say. But most 20-year-olds in the media and most 18, 19-year-olds, there's a message in this whole damn thing. Michael Jordan's the best basketball player ever. And he had obstacles the whole way.
Another thing, Skip, I'm watching, and I know, look, like I said, I met Michael Jordan and the aura around him. He's as close to a godlike figure that I've ever seen with my own 2 eyes. But Skip, the aura around him and the way people reacted when he came into a building or he walked past them down the street, Skip, I can honestly say this. Just like there'll never be another Tiger Woods, there'll never be another Muhammad Ali, but nobody will ever have that kind of cachet. Skip, nothing like this. But Skip, this was unbelievable. And to see what drove him and how it just like, and he said something, Skip, he like, and I was reading where he said, if I find somebody would have got a weakness, I take advantage of it. And I take advantage of it again and again and again and again. He says, I don't let up. And he wanted to win at all costs.
Here's a video of Steven Jackson talking about the GOAT and who he thinks it is.
Very few people can use the word undefeated in the championship games. Very few athletes in the world through sports of all time, since before I was born, since now, very few athletes can say they undefeated in championship games. Floyd, Jordan, who else? Rocky Marciano. I'm waiting. So being undefeated means something. Everybody can't say that. 98% of the people who play sports can't say that. 6-0, man. Then Kobe, then Bron. Bron is the best all-around player we've ever seen, but he hasn't passed Kobe or Jordan, my opinion. But I played.
Now I'm going to go with some quotes, Twitter posts, etc. of current NBA stars, NBA Hall of Famers, and others about MJ after those 2 first episodes. Here we go. Kevin Durant. Quote, he can adapt his game to anything. He would fit in as the best player in the league. That's what he would be. He would have more possessions to do more things, more space for MJ to go to work. We'll never know, but for sure he's a masterful basketball player. And like we've been saying, his skill level is unmatched. ESPN commentator Mike Breen. The most dominant perimeter defender I've seen when he was at his best was Michael Jordan. Damian Lillard. Mike from another planet. Dwayne Wade. Man, MJ had it. He had that it. He was chosen to be the GOAT. Trae Young. I feel like this documentary gonna make me put MJ number 1 instead of number 2. Can't wait. Last Dance. Irvin Magic Johnson. Michael Jordan's Last Dance was fantastic. I loved all 2 hours of it. Young fans that never got to see Michael play now understand why he's the GOAT of basketball. Max Kellerman. Michael Jordan would have averaged over 40 easy in today's game. Jamal Crawford. The great Larry Legend, who along with Magic helped save basketball, said, "That was God disguised as Michael Jordan." Think about that.
Number 2, Michael Jordan had been underpaid for years, just like Scottie Pippen had been underpaid by the Chicago Bulls. He just honored this contract and went on the court and handled his business every single damn night. Number 3, when we compare MJ to LeBron, can we stop the nonsense, please? If you want to make the argument that LeBron James looks better because the competition he went against in the NBA Finals was superior, pretty much the San Antonio Spurs and the Oklahoma City Thunder throw a series against the Dallas Mavericks in there, which he lost, and one against a young Oklahoma City squad, which he won. But it's primarily against San Antonio and Golden State. I understand that. But what about the road to prosperity? What about the road to the NBA Finals? Do you know who Michael Jordan had to go up against? How about Larry Bird with McHale and Ainge and Dennis Johnson and those boys in Boston? How about the Detroit Pistons, the bad boys with Isaiah, Rodman, Sally, Lambeer, Mahorn, Dumas, and the crew, and Vinny the Microwave Johnson? When you win your first title, you win against Magic Johnson. When you won your second title, you win against Clyde Drexler. When you won your third title, you win against Barkley and Marley and them. But before you got there, you had to go against Pat Riley's Rough Rider Knicks. You had to go up against the Indiana Pacers. We forget about Cleveland with Larry Nance, Mark Price, and the crew. You know, Matt Doherty and those boys. At the road, LeBron James was in an Eastern Conference that was soft as cottonelle tissue and still loaded up by Jordan, D. Wade, and Bosh before he learned how to win. Michael Jordan had to go through hell and back where we got James Worthy on the air saying, I didn't know how he lived, how he survived. I mean, that's what they were putting him through. LeBron never had to go through something like that. So don't talk to me about LeBron ever looking better than MJ, because that ain't happening. Ain't happening.